not a savior smoker, we're here to save the day. We got tips and tricks, reviews and more. Join us on the back porch, that's what we're here for. We're not professionals, but we're here to help. Take a step into the lounge, don't be by yourself. Light up a stick, let the stories unfold. In the Back Porch Lounge, where the vibe is bold. Shy about the shop, no need to fear. We'll teach you the ropes and make it all clear. Learn the lingo, find your cigar groove. With the Link Cutters crew, you got nothing to prove. We're not professionals, but we're here to help. Take a step into the lounge, don't be by yourself. Light up a stick, let the stories unfold. In the Back Porch Lounge, where the vibe is bold. So grab your cigar, join the conversation. Let's light it up, spark some inspiration. The leaf cutters are here, the world to ignite. One stick at a time, under the porch light.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Back Porch Lounge. We are the Leaf Cutters, and we are not professionals, but we're here to help. And today we have Billy back in the Back Porch Lounge. You saw him a couple episodes ago. We went and we talked about movies and remakes and redos and stuff like that, but we brought Billy back along because he wanted to try out an amazing cigar, which is the RoMa Craft Intemperance. I believe this is called the EC. I mean, we do have a little bit of love for RoMa Craft. I ain't gonna lie, and we're still waiting for the merch. So, Mike, Skip, we're still waiting for the merch because we pitch you almost every freaking show, and it's not because we're being paid or anything like that. It's because we do love your product. I'm not gonna lie. But
no, we got to make some stakes on it, like so that they're an incentive to send us some merch, right?
Exactly.
We're already fans, so we should represent.
Exactly, we should represent because we're already fans.
RoMa side?
But today, Robert is not here, as you can tell, so I have the question. What is the benefit of using scissors over a straight cutter?
Is there?
I think there is.
What?
Is it locked into a specific gauge of cigar?
Well, I mean, if you look...
That's a big one.
That's a big one right there. But if you look, it can only go up to a certain gauge anyway.
Right.
But, I mean, Zach, what's your take on it?
I mean, one of the things that you can do with the scissors that is harder to do with a straight cutter, but you can still do, is you can kind of score a cigar and kind of work into it a little bit. And I mean, you could definitely do it. I talked myself out of it. There's no difference.
No difference whatsoever.
I was just like, you can do all those things. I will say that the scissors I have, I've got I don't have them out with me right now, but I've got some Zycar folding scissors, and they're really small. They fit in your pocket, and they can fit on a keychain.
I mean, I'm kind of with you, Zach, but I'm truthfully saying there's not much difference. The only thing I can say about the scissors over the straight cutter is I think you have more control about where you're cutting and how much pressure you're putting on it.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe it's like a control thing. You can.
I think it's probably better.
Now that you mentioned that, I think you maybe do have a little bit more visibility, which might help you cut in the place that you want.
Yeah, so you can actually, get the cap versus, going too far on the cigar, stuff like that. So, I mean, I can see a little bit of benefit to having the scissors versus the straight cutter, but to be 100% honest, I don't think there's a benefit over one or the other. Straight cutter is going to do the job. The scissors is going to do the job. It's probably just more of a matter of preference than anything. So there you go. Question answered. In my mind.
That's all I got to say about that.
That's all I got to say about that. Let me go ahead and light mine up. Yeah, I'm doing the toasting. I usually toast.
I took a little extra toast to
Anybody pairing tonight?
Yes, today I've got some moderately cheap whiskey. This is Evan Williams Bottled in Bond, which is not too bad.
I'm doing the.
Yep.
Oh, go ahead, Billy.
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, I'm just going Fiddler whiskey and Coke Zero.
Very nice. I'm going good old.
Oh.
Go ahead, Grimm.
Cuervo Mountain Dew.
Nice. He's gonna be up and down at the same time.
Yeah, yeah.
Dang.
I'm doing the typical Dr. Pepper.
Nice.
So how is Cuervo with Mountain Dew? Is that a good combination, or is that...
He's like, no,
Drunk.
it's a combination out of necessity. So, first thoughts on the EC. I haven't got mine well lit yet, so I can't really give my first thoughts on it. So, take it away. Somebody else.
On everybody rush.
Yeah, don't run. Don't run. You'll trip.
I'm pretty biased about this cigar. It's one of my personal favorites, so it's kind of hard not to be stoked about it.
I'm still trying to take it all in, but yeah, first impressions are awesome. But I guess the first thing comes to mind is smooth and just balanced.
Yep. It's not too over the top,
Right.
so I don't feel like I have to maybe have a bigger meal or something before I can just... It's like, oh, I'd like to have a cigar now.
Yeah, I have to agree on first light up because this is the first Intemperance EC I've had, and to me, it's definitely a vast difference between the other RoMas that I've had, especially the Neanderthal and the Cro-Magnon,
for sure,
and the Sabertooth. Even the Sabertooth, it's a vast difference between that one as well. A lot lighter, but very very flavorful and tasty.
Yeah, even though you can tell it's a lighter cigar, it's still very full flavored.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, Grimm? Since you've gotten yours lit now,
I wish I was smoking an Espinosa.
Hector, that was for you, buddy.
I felt like I needed to get that in there.
Yeah, that's good.
I feel like I'm treading water. Or didn't I just smoke this the other day with? No, I had the Aquitaine with Hector.
Yeah, you had the Aquitaine Whiskey Rebellion.
Huh?
Whiskey Rebellion's an Intemperance.
Oh yeah, you're right. You had what did you have? You had the Aquitaine.
I had the Puente and the Aquitaine, I think.
Okay. So I don't know which
So-
Aquitaine that was.
Yeah, I'm still a
The
little
regular
upset
Aquitaine
about the
just says
You what?
Aquitaine on it. The regular Aquitaine just says Aquitaine on it, kind of like the Cro-Magnon.
Yeah, but it's like
just
in
kind of
raised lettering and it doesn't even have like
Yeah.
coloring to it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can't be colorblind for that one.
Yeah, the double band on that's pretty cool. There's like little skulls and cave drawings on the underband. Yeah,
I didn't even look at it. I cut it off to. Well, you know what? I think it's still. Is it still out here? No. Damn it. Whatever. So it's aight.
You got two eyes. So
Look, at this point, like I feel like we say enough that like I should have Skip or Michael's number to just text them directly and be like, I love your shit, I love you. This is your daily affirmation.
see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Stop calling me, Grimm.
I love you.
I love you. Don't share this news.
So Zach, I know you're biased, but what do you think about the first light up?
It's good. I think that this is. I haven't tried every cigar that RoMa's ever made, but I think this is the most approachable in their line for like a new smoker or newer smoker.
Yeah.
And it's got a little bit of pepper, but not so much pepper that it's going to be offensive. and I don't know, just kind of good.
Yeah. I mean, and that's a good note to say about RoMa in general. They make cigars for the everyday smoker. So everyday smokers, they tend to lean a little bit heavier sometimes on cigars, and they make a heavy cigar.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree with you there. This one's definitely a lighter, more approachable for, people who aren't everyday smokers, just a weekend smoker. They can pick one of these up and enjoy the hell out of it. And not be, for lack of a better term, sick, because it's just so heavy and so dense, because it's happened to us with RoMa. And not in a bad, being sick is always bad, but I'm just saying it doesn't make you sick. You enjoy the cigar the entire time.
And that was the problem, is it was good. You wanted to keep smoking it.
You want to keep smoking, and your body's like, no.
It was totally worth it.
Exactly. Worth it. I'm going to smoke another one tomorrow.
I'm not going to learn my lesson.
Nope. But since we have Billy on today, and a couple of weeks ago we had some conspiracy theories on another podcast, I thought I would want to poke the bear and talk about AI.
Oh God, that's a
because as in everyday life, AI is starting to get more and more into the workplace. It's more and more into people's everyday life, more into even your phones. The new iPhone is going to have intelligence on it, which is Apple's form of AI. I mean, Google has Gemini. Gemini's already on like Pixel and stuff like that. And Android. I think it's carried over to Android now.
Mm-hmm.
It's
that's in your everyday
in
life.
the same way.
And
At least not
even
in the older
us.
phones.
Yeah, you're right. It's not on the other. It's on the newer generations. Same thing with Apple. It's on the newer generations. I think like iPhone 15 and above can do it. But it's becoming more and more in everybody's everyday life. Even us at the leaf cutters, our cool ants that we do, it's AI. I wish I could say it was better, or I can do better, but no, it's AI generated. So that being said, there are many things that are going to be replaced in the future that Billy has some insight to, because he has talked about it many times with me in the past, and I wanted to let him vent that frustration with AI on the podcast.
Oh man, where do you start with something like that?
Well, let's start with your movies.
Okay, I would say, given the rate of like the exponential growth of the way how AI is growing over the last few years, is basically every year it's kind of it at least doubles itself, its capacity. So like a couple of years ago, you saw the first video of Will Smith eating spaghetti, and it kind of looked like a H.R. Geiger freaking horror show. And then just the very next year, they did another one where he's eating spaghetti with somebody else. I don't remember off the top of my head. And it's like almost perfect. I mean, obviously there's some hiccups, but they were like, yeah, this is the same thing over just the course of 1 year. So, I think over the next few years, we're going to see like the ability to, you can already render a video with a prompt. So you can say, a man walking across the street with a dog and a raincoat, and it'll render a video of that. Who's to say, like 5-10 years from now, you can't write a movie synopsis into a prompt and it'll render the entire freaking movie out exactly the way you want it. Maybe you might have to pay money to say, like, I want these specific actors in it. So, like, okay, I want a new Star Wars movie. Well, okay, if you want to have Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford and all these other people, you have to pay, I don't know, $5 per license, to render this movie. And, then you have like a personal license to have that movie for yourself. You want to share it, you have to pay more. But I don't see any reason why that's not going to happen. And basically that's going to render Hollywood as it is now completely pointless.
Well, to that very point, the last actor strike that they had in Hollywood was basically about that very thing. The likeness rights of them cannot
I don't have any
be
issues with, likeness rights. If they get paid every time a render is made or something like that, it's like, that's fine. But that's just the tip of the iceberg, like that. There's so much more aside from just that. It's just like games. AI can write code just as well as people can. So it's like, sure, it might get some errors, but, make a game for me. Make a new game with, a new Legend of Zelda game. Boom.
Yeah. Well, I think you'll run into that very problem with that too. You can't use copyrighted material in generating. Well, you can look at it right now. In the AI that we use today, you cannot use copyrighted material in the AI generation. Now, that being said, that's on anything that you pay for. Now, if you get like a open sourced AI, you can generate whatever you want. Now, the open sourced AI isn't quite as good as, say, like ChatGPT or something like that now, because they continuously are learning and doing things.
But I think at some point you're going to get to the law of diminishing returns, and the difference between the pay-for version and the open source version is going to be so minuscule. It's going to be like, well, what's the point? After the models get more advanced and stuff like that, it's like
you probably end up. I would imagine you end up paying for like processing cycles, so you pay for it to happen in 5 minutes instead of 5 hours or something like that.
Yeah, you definitely do. You're using, depending on the complexity of the scene or something. And if we're talking movies and stuff, you're going to need some kind of a server farm to render that out. But that's
maybe this is a Zach phenomenon. But if you're like, doom scrolling, we'll say, and you happen to see a video and it has one of the AI voices over it, and or the cadence of one of the AI generated videos, do you immediately skip that video?
Depends on the subject matter.
Yeah, it is really grating, especially for the narrative ones. Like they're always that same voice, like the TikTok voices. Yeah, those are really grating. Like it's like
I'm just out.
Yeah, so they're like one or two voices, and it's like I'm so tired of hearing these voices, and but that's just TikTok though. Think about like at some point you'll be able to personalize those voices into whatever voice you want.
Oh, you can do it now.
You can do it now.
Well, yeah, but is that built into TikTok or?
No, it's not built into TikTok yet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because that's why people use it so much, is just because it's already like, narrated. All right, what narrator do you want?
But I can get into software now and just say a phrase of things, and it'll copy my voice.
Yeah, you can do that. You can get anybody to say anything you want, and that's where you run into like the dangerous like things where they're gonna have to fundamentally change all the laws. Because of AI, there's no way.
Oh, for sure.
There's no way.
A lot of
it's going to be able to stay like it is.
I think a lot of those laws are already in place. They're just going to have to enforce them better.
Yeah, or define them better.
Yeah, and define them a little bit better. But I think a lot of those laws are in place, especially about
if things are too open ended, then people can get around it, or use it for some other purpose.
Well, the scary thing is that the technology is developing so fast that even if they do get around it, they're getting around it so quickly. By the time it catches up to say, okay, you got to stop this, It's already out there. It's been out there
That's
for a while.
the problem with it in general. And that was kind of one of the things that I saw a video on several months ago, almost a year ago maybe, where like Elon Musk was talking about the dangers of letting everything move too fast without any sort of regulation. He's like, guys, we gotta slow down. Can we call like a group meeting and slow down? We're all doing it, but they're all racing to go as fast as they can to get as advanced as they can without looking into any repercussions. And that's kind of like, that's how you really screw shit up. That's how you get T1000s.
Yeah.
Fair.
But what you're speaking to with Elon was around the time that he kind of abandoned Chat GPT and OpenAI.
Yeah, there was some deals or something that went through between them.
I don't think he was abandoned. I think he was pushed out, from what I understand.
Yeah,
he was one
pushed
of the
out or abandoned.
I think.
I don't know how it went down, but it would make sense that if he got out then versus now, because he's using his own AI, he can't be accused of taking their technology and putting it into his.
Yeah.
So it may have been a conflict of interest at that point.
Regardless of the I guess the reason why they would want to do it, why he would want to do it, it's still a good idea of taking a step back and just let's figure out like some ground rules for it, because it's going to take jobs. Like that's another huge thing is like all these like entry level jobs that everybody's wanting their minimum wage to go up. They're just going to replace them all with AI, and then they're not going to have a job at all. It's like,
so
what do you do?
You're thinking that they're going to replace like people at say like fast food restaurants with AI robots to do the remedial tasks.
They're already doing. There's like a McDonald's test restaurant, like a beta test, where they're the entire staff is AI. It's all robots. You go to the drive-through, you take your order through an AI voice. You go pick up your food. It's all cooked by robots. It's delivered by a robot. No people. I guess the only interaction a human would have to do is like restock and maintenance.
Interesting.
So
I did hear about that restaurant, but because if you think about it logically, you pay a minimum wage worker, let's just say if you work 40 hours a week all year, around $23,000 a year, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
You can replace that person with a robot that's most likely going to last beyond that year.
Right. That's why it's going to happen. I mean, regardless.
Yeah,
regardless of any sort of like, what minimum wage is and stuff. The people are going to want to do that because it's cheaper. It sucks. It's not necessarily a good thing. I don't look forward to the future where we all go out and we're greeted more by robots than we are real people. I mean, that's going to suck because everybody's like, well, I'm just staying home.
So, yeah, but what's going to be the difference between that and what we're doing now with like DoorDash and Uber Eats and stuff like that? So, if you don't want to go out, you're just going to order in. It's going to be the same thing. It's just going to be sent to you directly.
It just exacerbates the whole thing. It's like it's already bad. It's going to get worse. Depending on how you look at it, maybe you like it. Maybe you don't like having to leave the house ever. That's cool. But I don't know.
So, do you think? I think this would be a great question for the cigar loons and the conspiracy theories. Do you think we're going more to this so we're kind of being controlled to be, or kind of give us no reason to leave your home? If everything's delivered to you, if you can stream whatever you want to your television, everything can be provided to you at home, why would you want to leave home? Why wouldn't we want to live in a world like WALL-E?
Well, what is the phrase? I want to make sure I get it right. It's something like the easiest way to control a slave is to make the slave not know that he's a slave at all. You know,
It's a little dark there, Billy, but I see what you're saying.
well, that's like the basis of the Matrix, right?
Yeah.
And it's true. You know, they're batteries.
I mean, maybe we're already there. Society did peak
Maybe.
in 1999.
That's it.
It's when
I
Limp
don't
Bizkit
know
was
how-
the most popular, so that's when we peaked. Period.
Limp Bizkit was on top.
They did it all for
That was the
Nookie
pinnacle of
1999.
Grim just had to get Limp Bizkit in there somewhere.
So I'm wondering if we'll just see a shift. So like I did a little work in manufacturing, and one of the things that I learned, and this may be like a biased opinion based on the people I was talking to, it may feel differently from someone else's point of view, but with things like automation and robotics and that sort of thing, a lot of people are concerned that they're losing their jobs. Obviously, this thing does the thing I've been doing for the past 15 to 20 years.
Right.
It can do it faster, better, more accurately than I can. Why is it taking my job? And I get that would suck, because I would feel that way if my job got stolen in the same way.
Mm-hmm.
But from the manufacturing standpoint, those people are usually offered an opportunity to learn something else if the company's worth anything. Either maintaining these machines so they can up throughput and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And that shift of learning of unskilled to skilled labor, I get why you wouldn't want to make it like, oh, I go punch the clock and I do this thing. It's very easy. Doesn't require much from me.
Right.
Now I gotta learn a code and learn how to
I think
maintain a
we're going to
machine.
be forced to have, regardless of anybody's like thoughts on it. I think at some point it's going to be forced that people are going to be running on some sort of universal basic income, just because there won't be enough low-level jobs to be able to support those people. I mean, at some point, yes, I mean, everybody can be trained to be able to do a more highly skilled position, but at some point, the amount of those positions are going to be fewer than there are people to fill them. Sure. So at some point, they're going to have to say, all right, I know that there's nothing we can give you for a job. We're just going to give you a monthly stipend or something, just because you're a citizen. I don't necessarily agree with having to do that, but I think that AI pushes us that way.
Interesting.
Into that, and
I don't know that you're wrong.
I hope that I'm wrong, but I just, and that's how. I mean, you think about Wall-E. You said Wall-E. That's how the people live. They didn't do anything.
Yeah,
there's going to be a certain amount of people that have to do certain, a certain level of jobs. I mean, once automation and AI get to the point where there are no reasons for anything else except for maintenance and advancements in technology and stuff like that, science and doctors and stuff like that. People that higher level positions. There's not going. You can't have 5 billion lawyers. I mean, they're going to try to have 5 billion lawyers, but imagine that. Everybody's a lawyer. Well, I'll tell you what you can do. You can become a lawyer. Yeah.
Grim really wants to say something.
I would like AI to be given personality, and I would like it to be given specific personalities, like Mr. Rogers or Bob Ross, or something very, very like reassuring and casual. So when it does turn into a murder to psycho rampage thing, it sounds great.
I'm sorry. We're going to
Like,
have
you
to
know
kill
what?
you now.
Enslavement doesn't sound so bad. All right, let's go.
You're the glum face. It'll be okay, buddy.
Will you be my neighbor? That's an internment camp. I know, neighbors.
It's sad and depressing when you think about it. So from an IT perspective, all right, on this, we've been taught in IT, you're always supposed to automate yourself out of a job. So basically, you're supposed to find the things that you can automate to offload those tasks, so you can move on to other tasks.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Sure. That's pretty much the entire concept behind IT. You want to automate something, or you want to make something easier, so you can continue on and do other things, and have that kind of be like a problem of the past, right? So when it comes to AI is not self-aware. We're not there yet, so people can kind of not worry about that part. They're not self-aware. They can learn, but it's only learning in the aspect of it can make answers better. So if it's asked a question, it can know the correct answer for it, right?
Yeah.
That's the way the AI works now.
It's not really artificial intelligence.
It's not. There's no reason behind it.
It's really great marketing.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's not really artificial intelligence.
Yeah, it's not really artificial intelligence.
Large language models and advanced searches and predictive algorithms and that sort of thing. It's not really that intelligent. And
going back to what Billy was saying earlier with the automated McDonald's, they've been working on that shit for fucking years, okay? It's not something new. It's, they have been working on this. They've been trying to automate remedial tasks like this forever.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I say forever. At least the past probably 10, 15 years, they've been trying to do something.
Yeah.
The technology has gotten better to where they can get closer to the goal that they're trying to get to. But it's not because of AI. It's because of engineering. And guess what? A person had to engineer that robot to get it to do the task that it needed to do. It wasn't like a robot created it to do it. So yes, remedial tasks, things that can be done repeatedly, that can be taken over by robots, which means that does take away a job of somebody who's doing it.
I want to lose their job.
But from what it sounded like, they don't want that job to begin with.
Probably not. But
I
mean, I guess if they were given the option, take the job or leave the job and get free money or learn a new skill. That's it. That's basically it. Get this amount of money or learn a new skill and make more money. I
can see where you're getting at. Grimm is so wanting to say something. He's just not saying it.
I'm trying to think of whether or not I really want to say. You know what? I do want to say it out loud. Is there any point in chance that in time that AI is going to become so intense that I can get it to replace me as a husband? Like I can just go play video games all goddamn day, and it can do all the husband shit and I love yous and all that other stuff. Like I'm just looking for something to stand in for right now.
Okay, so
I have a thing about that.
Oh, yeah, me too. Go ahead, Zach. Go.
Okay, so there's another podcast. I know there's more podcasts. If you were not aware, as a listener of the Leaf Cutters, there are more podcasts than just us. I mean, there's people that talk about other
We're
things.
pioneers.
What?
One that I encountered a while ago and continue to enjoy is Radiolab. It's from my dog just freaked out. It's from
poor Lagatha.
Like a New York Public Radio station, but they do like kind of deep dives on subjects. Okay, so this episode's called Shell Game, and essentially this journalist set up AI as an assistant and fed it information and his voice and had it call people for him. Including interviewing the CEO of the company that created the software that did voice replication. And it was kind of bizarre because, I mean, he had to do extra work because every time he had to make a call, he would call them afterwards and, get their permission to use the recording and all, and like, clean up the mess that the AI made. But there were a couple times where, and if I'm remembering correctly, where it like did a good enough job to get the information across that he needed to do. So like there's meetings, not necessarily for my job in the same way, but occasionally where you just need to say something to a group of people so that they know that thing. And it could happen on an email, but the AI could show up to the Zoom meeting and stand in for you. And it was a very interesting practice in that. But the thing that I thought was interesting is even though it sounded identical to him as a person who didn't know him, anybody who did know him, as soon as it introduced it, as soon as it answered the phone to them, they were like, what the hell is going on here? Because as good as it was and as much information that he gave it, anybody who knows that actual person, it's like, it's obvious. This isn't their tone. This isn't their inflection. This isn't the words choices they would make. But it was a very interesting podcast. It's worth a listen if you're interested in the subject. But basically, I think there's a longer format version that he did. This was just like kind of a recap episode, but it's almost there for certain things. Well, I guess the short story.
So I'm speaking of Xbox.
Okay, hold on. I'm getting you closer. I'm getting you closer. So, going back to Elon Musk. Elon Musk has created a robot called Optimus, and supposedly Optimus is at the point now to where it can babysit your kids, it can be their tutor, it can cut your grass, it can take out the garbage, it can do a lot of remedial tasks around the house that you don't want to do.
It's Rosie the robot.
So how much is it?
20,000.
And like I said,
right?
20,000-30,000 depending on what model you get. And
I was going to say that for something else, but I'm going to get a robot now. Honey, do the dishes. Robot, get to it.
Yeah,
that doesn't sound too far fetched. I mean, I have a Roomba. I can't use it in my current house, but that thing was awesome. It would, couple times a week, it would vacuum the areas and I didn't have to vacuum probably in a year.
Yeah.
You still have to like clean up a mess, but like the basic
and
just
don't
like
ever
dirt.
You got to always keep an eye out if you got pets.
Yeah,
because it'll hit a turd and it'll streak everything.
Oh no!
I've heard that horror story from more than one person, particularly the mopping one. Apparently.
Oh yeah, the mopping one's even worse. It'll make it wet and then streak it even worse.
Yes, it'll spread that shit all over your house. No pun intended.
Literally.
Hey, wait! I just thought of something else. If I get this robot, and I'm, like I have it taking, doing the chores and making my wife happy and everything else like that, will it also be player 2 for Xbox games?
I mean, why not?
Is it your Nick Frost zombie? Is that what you're saying?
I'm just saying, nobody ever plays games with me anymore. I'm a social outcast. I will play games with a robot.
Somebody play with me.
You can do that already.
Old man Grimbles, you guys can have it. I don't give a shit.
Nice.
You've been able to do that since Skyrim. Lydia could walk around with you and help carry your shit and fight frost spiders.
Man, that was
right?
Hey, we're married now. Carry this.
Right.
Speaking of Skyrim, they've implemented AI as a mod into certain NPCs into Skyrim, so you can actually have natural conversations with the NPCs. I can't wait until they start to do that with more like mainstream games, because that's going to open up like so much more like just realism, basically. I think that's going to be fucking awesome. You know, just having small talk with the innkeeper and finding out where the fucking wizard is at, from whoever.
No. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's entirely because of Skyrim. You know what? Yeah. They'll give your wife the ability to talk, and then she'll start nagging you. When are you going to take this heavy armor?
When are you going to take care of
that sword for 3 fucking miles?
That's when you join the Dark Brotherhood, and you.
When are you going to sell all these iron daggers?
So you're in the Dark Brotherhood. You like to kill people. How's that going? Yeah, off to kill somebody. Good. Bye.
I could see a game where you have more natural conversation instead of like selecting a
predetermined, like, because then every playthrough it's different.
It has the potential to be different. Yeah.
Right. I mean, well, yeah.
I
mean,
thought
there's
of
going to be
one
certain plot points have to happen, but
I thought of one that I would like to have a conversation with through AI, and that's Gladys from Portal. I would like to see how long it takes for her to make me cry.
Not very long. She's very mean.
She is very mean, and like I would like to get to the point where I'm like, "You did good, AI."
What are you talking about? I cry now because I don't get the fucking cake.
Yeah, it's always
a lie
anyway.
I mean, 2 straight games, I don't get the goddamn cake.
I'm expecting Portal 3 in 20-nothing, and when that happens, we'll get cake.
That's all I want. I want to get the cake.
It boggles my mind that a company as big as Valve, they can't count to 3.
They really can't.
They can't.
It's a shame.
They can count to 4, but not 3.
It's only going to be 2 of them.
Wait, count to 4?
Yeah, left 4 dead.
Yeah, but that's cheating.
Hey,
that's part of the title. It's not the sequel.
Yeah, there's only 3 of those, right?
3 regardless. It's not left 3 dead.
It's not left 2 dead either.
No, it's definitely not. It's left 4 with a missing thumb.
They know what 4 is. They just can't get to 3.
You can't get to 3. I'm going to be on my deathbed. Somebody's going to come in and say, "Hey, I got Portal 3," and I'm going to stroke out and die right there.
You can just get AI to make Portal 3 for you.
We should. Oh my God, we should.
Right.
Don't you think that should be the first AI like created game? It just seems
Half-Life 3, Portal 3, yeah, the ones that really matter.
Well, it just seems like Portal, Gladys, AI, yeah.
See, the writing, but I think if you so good though, I would hate for them to fuck it up.
You feed it all the other ones, and then you feed it other snarky comments, an asshole.
But no. We will have a Battletoads on our hands if they did that. there would be no possible way you could win that game.
There's no end to that game anyway. Like it's unbeatable from what I understand. At least I gave up way before I got to the end.
I'd like to see how inventive the insults would be though. Like for Gladys, if for AI, like I know you're saying like it wouldn't be that great, but like like I'd be like to be shoot a portal, whatever, and they'd be like, "I can tell you're overweight by the way you hold the controller." And I'd be like,
"I can hear you breathing in the mic."
Yeah, your breathing indicates you're 50 pounds overweight. Do you know what morbidly means?
Oh shit!
At the beginning of the game, you fill out
you're over 40. Have you scheduled a colonoscopy?
At the beginning, you fill out your profile and information, and it's a bunch of seed questions so that Gladys can make fun of you.
Yeah. What's your age? How much hair do you have? Not enough? That's good. You have alopecia? We're in.
Oh, shit. This has gone so far off rail. I love it.
Yeah.
That's why you have me around. I don't want to hear it.
Check in. We need to do a check in. Where are we at on our cigars?
Super down.
You're about half. You are over half. I'm about half. All right. So midway through, consistent. Consistent tastes good. No film in my mouth. Loving it. Plenty of flavor, plenty of smoke, but not overpowered at all. When you're looking at a Connecticut, which I think this is a Connecticut, isn't it? This is their only Connecticut.
Ecuadorian Connecticut. Yep.
Yeah, Ecuadorian Connecticut. It smokes like a Connie, but not a very light Connie. It's more like a light to medium, Connecticut, but it's full of flavor, and I'm digging the hell out of it. How about you, Billy?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree. The two flavor notes that I think that I picked out the most is slight leather. I picked up leather like smell, kind of like in the background, and then maybe a little cedar. But there's the little pepperiness to it. Other than that, yeah, really good flavor, and yeah,
Yeah.
It's good.
And that's how good it is. Billy's been talking, but yet he's still further than us in this cigar. So that tells you something.
Yep.
Because usually when Billy's smoking with me, he's way behind than I am, and I'm definitely not as deep into this as he is. How about you, Grimm?
The RoMa Craft Intemperance is a standout in the world of premium cigars, showcasing a blend that beautifully balances complexity and approachability. Right from the first puff, you're greeted with rich notes of cocoa and coffee, layered with a subtle sweetness that makes it incredibly inviting.
And what website did you read that from?
ChatGPT.
Okay.
I went to ChatGPT and said,
not
write a
too
review
bad.
for the cigar.
Fantastic.
There's more to it, too. I just cut it off because it just goes on. It's like a full page and a half.
Nice. All right. Fair. That's a decent review. Yeah.
It just made me realize that we could be replaced by ChatGPT too. I want to smoke this today. I wonder what the leaf cutters. I wonder what ChatGPT has to say about it. They're much more succinct.
How about you, Zach?
Again, still in super enjoyable cigar. I like Billy's tasting notes as he was describing those. I was like, oh, I can see that you would get that out of it, and I get that. I like that leather and cedar, a little pepper. I like those are good descriptors. I get a little bit of creaminess from I guess the lighter wrapper.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of my
Definitely
go-tos.
smooth, creamy to it. Yeah,
I think it's a little more. Yeah, I
can see
I think
why.
it's a little more interesting than like the Perdomo Champagne. Although the Perdomo Champagne is really good and approachable and smooth and creamy, I think this has got a little bit more flavor going on for me.
But it's got a little bit of a kick behind it.
Yeah,
that the Perdomo Champagne does not. But it's not so much of a kick that it puts you on your ass.
right. I was trying to figure out whether tobacco is in it, and it looks like Dominican and Nicaraguan filler.
I'm about to say it's got to be Nicaraguan.
Yeah. Yep. Dominican and
RoMa
Nicaraguan.
loves some Nicaraguan tobacco.
I thought there was some San Andreas in this, but I think that's another one in the line.
So, didn't mean to, derail us there on our conversation. It was getting really good about being replaced with AI.
So if we get replaced,
Uh-huh.
are we going towards the Gene Roddenberry future of, you just, do things because you enjoy them and because you're good at them, or don't have to figure out how to, keep the lights on? Or are we going towards the, different classes of people that are somewhere between enslaved and, Grimm, you done front?
Of all the things that talk about the future, Star Trek is the only one that has a positive outlook. You can't name a single other fucking franchise that says the future's awesome. Terminator,
The
not so
Orville.
awesome. Alien, not so... Huh? Which
The
one?
Orville. The Orville.
That's a Star Trek knockoff. I'm out of here.
What about Fifth Element? I mean, there is a big evil entity trying to destroy the universe, but
First off, anything that has the guy, what's his name, Chris Tucker, whoever has a radio DJ that's like that, not a good future. It's not a good future.
What?
We are
Super
not far.
green.
We are not far from that as being a thing.
And then as far as like nobody looks happy in that in that movie. Like the bulk of the movie, everybody's just super pissed looking. So no, I'm going to say that's a -2. And I love that movie too, so I'm not knocking it.
Oh, it's so fucking good.
Yeah.
Anytime I see that movie on somewhere,
I went and saw it with my
I'm
with my
oh yeah, I
wildly
can
grandmother.
watch this.
Stop and watch this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went and saw it in the theaters with my wildly religious grandmother, and they hit the point where they're putting the bandages over her or whatever. I'm just like, Grandma, I didn't see nothing. Please, God, don't hit me. She didn't actually hit me. I'm being facetious.
She just gave you a look that was the equivalent of being smacked in the face.
I went to Bible camp for a week afterwards, so yeah.
I went and talked to the Jesus.
I don't know. I feel like
Name one though, other than Star Trek and the Orville's a knockoff, so you can't count that. Name one future, outlook that we have that's like positive.
not off the top
Mad
of my head.
Max, The Matrix, half the shit on fucking Netflix. Like all of it's of dystopian futures. Like
Yeah, I was about to say
dystopian
like
future
even like
is popular right now.
Well,
Do I?
I think it's easier to imagine a dystopian future than it is a more of a utopian society, because to answer the question, I think we are leaning more towards that, that class-based, elites versus whatever.
It's not a far stretch, I don't think.
I really don't think. Yeah, I mean, if things continue to go the way they go, then yeah, I don't see it changing to the good.
This sounds cynical, but I've really always kind of wanted the future to be like a Scanner Darkly, which is based off Philip K. Dick book, but it's basically exactly what we have now, but just slightly shittier. There's better drugs. They like the drugs, but really it's just slightly shittier.
Is that the one that's cell shaded?
Yeah,
It's so shitty. I love that. I love that part.
shit!
Robert Downey Jr., right?
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr., Keanu Reeves, Winona Ryder.
Yeah.
It's actually one of my favorite films, but
That's a really.
I never get to watch it because everybody around me is like, "Oh, it's dumb, blah blah blah." I'm like, "You're dumb. Shut
I'll
up."
watch it with you, buddy.
Well,
Let's
it's
do
one of
let's
those
do a
that like
viewing.
I
I'm in.
want to watch, but it's like it takes a toll on you to watch it.
Passion of the Christ.
I was thinking Schindler's List, but yeah, something like that.
I was close.
It's like, oh, this is a really great movie, and it's like, cinematic and the storytelling's good and the actors are good, but I just don't want to go through that right now.
Yeah. You have to be in the mood to be depressed.
Yeah.
It's like even what you were talking about earlier, Jojo Rabbit. I mean, that's even though that's a dark comedy, you still have to be in that kind of mindset.
Yeah, when you know what's about to happen, you sit there dreading it the entire movie after you've seen it the first time.
Yeah.
I've only seen it one time because I can't bring myself to watch it again because
I've watched it half a dozen times. I love that movie, but
it's so good.
Up until that point where you see the shoes, I'm super happy. You hit that, I'm like, I'm depressed for the rest of this time. I might as well do something else. I'm gonna learn how to crochet.
And what was that movie that me and my wife watched? It's called The Mist. Have you guys seen it? It's like a Stephen King. I think it's Stephen King.
So you talking about the old one, in the 80s?
No, they made a new one. And
I've seen the original, but it wasn't called The Mist. It was called The Fog.
No, it's not The Fog. It's called The Mist.
Okay.
Man, that movie it will piss you off. Like the way it ends, it's just like what the
I like Stephen King novels, and I'm not a basher of the films, but at the same time, you hit that point where you're like, God damn it, why did I watch this? Like Dreamcatcher, I saw that in theaters because they had the opening for the Animatrix as the prequel to the movie being on screen.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll totally watch this. I didn't really like the book, but it should be fine. And like when Jason Lee got eaten by a toilet, I was done.
Well, to me, a lot of Stephen King's the adaptations to the big screen, they just don't play out as well as the books. I mean, the books usually, they kind of end kind of like, what the fuck were you thinking?
Well, they either
But-
have to be changed in such a way, like or added to, like Shawshank was just a short story, right? So,
But that was amazing.
but that's an
That-
amazing film, right?
Yeah.
So
Really.
I think they either go one way or the other. Like to me, the original Shining from Stanley Kubrick's version is a better movie, even though it's not like accurate to the book.
Oh yeah, not even close.
And then when they did the TV version of The Shining, it just didn't hit the same. It was
Right.
it was still
No.
a good movie, but it wasn't the same, So I
Yeah.
think Stephen King stuff kind of goes back and forth,
I have a weird story about The Shining. Not
Okay.
that weird. So I was in Colorado doing some work, and while there, we had a couple of days off, and we went up to Estes Park, and we went to the Stanley Hotel, which is where the book takes place, I guess. And side note, Stanley Hotel has one of the coolest whiskey bars I think I've ever been to. That thing is 100 feet long and has every
Nice.
whiskey that I
Nice.
think I've ever heard of, and a bunch that I haven't. But the next day, I called my parents who were in is it Washington or Oregon? I can't remember. On vacation, and they went to the Timber Lodge, which is where the movie was filmed. Like within a day or two of me going to the Stanley Hotel, and I was like, "Dang, you went to the coolest one." Apparently, they have sections that are like homage to the movie and stuff. I think with the carpet and stuff.
Yeah. And have you, I don't know if I brought this up previously, but have you ever watched Room? What I forgot the number of the room, but it's the room that they go into
201.
in the movie,
Was it 201 or 204?
18 or something like that.
something like that.
1802 or something, or it's
Hang on a second. I'm gonna ask my wife.
I don't know.
Hey, Diana.
I thought it was room 2 something.
What room do they go in The Shining? Do you remember? I got her like a key from the.
no, in The Shining it's 223.
216.
216.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
that
so,
sounds about right.
Okay.
It's either
But the movie's
216,
like
316,
1408 or
something like
something
that.
like that.
No, it's the key. It's the room in the movie. But the name of the documentary is called Room. Would you say 216?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you watch that, it shows all the stuff that Kubrick put into that film that was just mind blowing. That you do not catch watching it, but if you go back and watch it again after you see it, you see exactly what they're talking about.
Oh,
Like
interesting.
everything in that film, Kubrick purposely had there for a reason. And Grimm has a question already.
No, not a question. What room did we say?
216?
216.
216?
According to the Googles, the documentary for The Shining is room 237.
237. Okay. But there's even a significance for that number. I think it was 237 was like the 23rd of July, and that was the moon landing.
Oh, interesting.
Okay. Is that
right.
is that where they go into the conspiracy theory about Kubrick directing the moon landing?
Correct. They were saying that that's a nod to Kubrick actually filming
Oh
the
my
moon
God.
landing. But everything in that film, the reason why it's there is he has a reason behind it.
Yeah.
And it's so fascinating if you watch it. I want people to watch it. I don't want to go too much detail of it. But there's so many conspiracy theories on that. You should really watch that film just to see all the stuff that he put in there that's plausible. Every bit of it is plausible.
Interesting.
It's just mind-blowing. But I've never seen a movie spawn so many conspiracy theories off of it than that one has. it's so weird. And like, and for example, this is kind of a nod. Well, it's kind of an insult to Stephen King, because Stephen King did not like it.
Yeah.
He did not like that rendition. He hated the film. In the first scene, and he didn't want it done. It's not the first scene. When he's going up to the mountain, the caretaker that they call to come up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's a scene where they're on an icy road, and there's an 18-wheeler that's crashed, and there's a red Volkswagen Beetle stuck under it. And that was basically referencing Stephen King's crash that he had.
Oh shit!
Yeah. So it's crazy, man. It was like mind blowing to watch that film about The Shining. It just comes up with so much stuff that I'm like, oh my god. Now that you put it in this perspective, I could see where they were going with that. But you should really watch it. It was a great watch.
I'll have to check that out. I don't claim to be a cinephile by any stretch, but I always find the Kubrick movies that I've seen to be like way more layered, and each time you watch it, you get like a thing out of it.
Yeah,
I'm sure he intentionally, made his movies like that.
I mean, and down to the details of how the cans were arranged in the cupboards.
Mm-hmm.
Tell a story.
Yeah.
And it's wild. Just like I said, watch it and then go back and watch The Shining, and you'll be like, holy fucking shit.
Can you imagine working on the set and Kubrick coming over and saying, no, arrange everything this way?
No.
Like, I just spent 16 hours.
No, Kubrick did it himself.
Oh, God.
Kubrick did it himself. He would walk in there and arrange things the way he wanted it. And he's like, yes, I want all this in here, but this is the way I'm doing it.
No, I don't know. If it works out, if the person doing it has all that control and they're good at their job, then that's the kind of movie I enjoy.
Yeah.
Where somebody had that much passion to do all that instead of this is a nice paycheck.
Yeah, exactly. But essentially, he made it into his own movie, and I am enjoying the shit out of this cigar. I really am.
You know what? I was puffing on it, and it reminds me a little bit of like a cappuccino or a latte, where you have
that's
like
the cocoa
espresso.
that ChatGPT said.
I think
Got you covered.
Yeah. The richness of the coffee and the creamy milk foam. Yeah. Now I kind of want a latte.
Yeah.
I bet this would pair well with.
I was going to say, I bet it would.
Yeah.
Any kind of cappuccino or coffee, a good coffee.
Yeah. It doesn't even have to be a dark coffee. It could be, it'd be really good. So everybody got quiet. I'm sorry. Did we bring the mood down?
Oh, coffee.
Nerd.
I'm tired.
No, I need some coffee.
I just went through a mental rabbit hole of why I haven't had it with coffee, and it's because I try to stop caffeine in the late after or the mid afternoon because I like to sleep, and I often don't have a cigar in the morning or late afternoon. It's usually late afternoon and or evening.
So what you need to do is have a morning coffee and have a cigar with it.
Maybe.
Pull an Andy. Because Andy will be out on his porch first thing in the morning having a cigar and a coffee. And I'm like, dude, I wish I had your cigar budget. I really do.
Well, I mean, he does smoke a lot of the factory smokes. Those are pretty budget friendly, and
But still.
Yeah.
I was also interested because when we were talking to Hector,
Yeah.
from Espinosa, he was saying that the factory smokes were pretty much were the contender for another brand that I had heard of, but I'd never had. And what was it? Quantum or Quorum or something like that.
Yeah, I remember him saying that, but I don't remember the brand.
Yeah, but he's right. The price point on those, you can get like a pack of, I think, 20 of them for around $40. It's like $35-$40.
Yeah.
The factories or the other one?
The other one, the Quorum.
Oh, okay.
Because I've actually seen them. So I might give them a shot too, just to see how they are and how they stack up against the factory smokes. I mean, I know the factory smokes, you have several different lines you can go with. You can go with the Sweet, you can go with the Maduro, you can go with Sun-Grown. And I'm wondering if they have about the same, but it seems like they may be a little bit cheaper than the factory smokes. Yeah, it's worth the shot. I mean, and supposedly, according to Hector, they've probably been around longer than factory smokes. So,
Right.
Might as well give them a shot.
Grimm, did you light up another cigar?
I did.
What did you light up?
Mark Twain.
Okay. So you're already done.
I've been done for like 10 minutes, and I didn't want to be left out, so I figured I would start this one. We would do our reviews of the cigar. We would disconnect. I would write for a little bit, so the wife would be happy too, and then everybody would be happy.
Yeah. I'm not quite ready to review this one yet because I still got a pretty good bit left. How are you doing, Billy?
Oh, I'm done.
Oh shit.
That's all right.
But I don't want to put it.
I'm
I don't want
about
to put
with
it
you
down.
there.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
good, sir.
we're about the same. That's how you know I'm enjoying it. I'm not smoking it way too fast.
Yeah. I had a little bit more than a fingertip left, and I was like, "Yep, can't do more than that."
You don't have asbestos
All right.
fingers?
I guess I
Tongue?
could use my my little poker.
That's what it's for.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it's worth doing it now, but
Is it not? Let's give it a shot.
depends on if you already put it out in the ashtray or not.
No, I just went out.
Okay. But news on the t-shirt front, because I know people have been asking about if we're going to do t-shirts, if we're going to do leaf cutter branded stuff. I do have a little bit of news on that. I am currently talking to a designer who can get the logo the way I want it on a t-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to work with her and see what we can do, and hopefully, fingers crossed, have something out fairly soon so people might be able to get some leaf cutter merch.
Nice.
That's gonna be awesome.
I know I'd like a leaf cutter merch.
Yeah, so pretty soon you'll be seeing all of us with leaf cutter merch on, and then you should be able to buy it.
Do not group me in with people that would wear such disgusting, terrible merchandise. I am a Puritan of good taste, sir.
Yeah, that's why you own a House of 1,000 Corpses shirt. Because
Good
you
taste,
have
sir.
good taste.
Good taste. Rob Zombie is
No.
the best.
I mean,
His
we
Halloween is definitive.
we had a conversation about Rob Zombie not too long ago that when he started off, wasn't that good. But when he finally got to Halloween, not so bad.
So what you're
Just saying.
saying is...
Well, okay, wait. Not Halloween. Devil's Rejects is when I think he actually started taking off, because I really enjoyed Devil's Rejects. And then I enjoyed Halloween.
So I'm just saying, and I'm putting this out here, and Billy, I love you. Don't think that I'm saying anything negative towards you, sir.
Uh-huh.
But are you saying that if somebody were to make something as great as the Leaf Cutters, they could be forgiven for making something earlier like Deja Redo, which is total doo-doo? I'm waiting.
I was going to say that, I think the type of movie that Rob Zombie was going for was intentionally campy and B-movie-esque. So, like, I think he got what he wanted out of House of a Thousand Corpses. You know.
Oh, he totally did.
Yeah. So it's very niche. So I don't know. I didn't have that much of a problem with it. I went into it expecting that. So and because of that, I didn't hate it. So I've enjoyed most of his movies.
You know, I went and saw House of a Thousand Corpses when it came out in theaters the first time around, and I went for the 20th anniversary. And you know what I regret? Nothing. It was awesome.
I saw it in the theater when it came out.
What was that? The Salem? What was it? Something Salem?
The Lords of Salem.
Lords of Salem. That one is probably my least favorite.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I'm not even going to defend it.
It had like good parts, but it's pretty boring. It drags.
I went into the theater with my wife, and I came out single.
All right.
She's like, I'm just going to sleep in the car.
That much for dragging her to that movie.
We don't talk about Lords of
Rob,
Salem.
I'm serious. I love you. Please don't judge me for those comments.
And I go back to Rob Zombie. There's nothing against Rob Zombie. I'm a Rob Zombie fan. I like Rob Zombie. Like his music. I do like his films. There's just certain films that he's done that. Huh?
What? You mean James Woods?
No.
It's like
whatever.
A joke that James Woods is somehow Rob Zombie in makeup.
Oh, okay.
James Woods is a lot of people. He's an amazing actor. It's like that episode of Family Guy where Fred Savage is both Rush Limbaugh and Michael Moore.
Yeah.
Because he's doing it to prove that he's the greatest actor of all time. Well,
he's kidding.
Sir,
yes.
Proof me.
But again, I do like Rob Zombie. Don't let me turn anybody off of Rob Zombie because of that, because I just didn't like one of his films.
You didn't like a lot of his films. Don't lie.
Okay, his films weren't to my liking. How about that?
Okay.
Some of them. That's just me. But okay. Now I think we can actually rate these cigars because it's starting to burn my fingers.
Oh, I still got a bit.
I've been smoking faster. Okay.
I've had a few of these.
All right. So for mine, consistent smoke all the way through, just like in the middle, in the beginning. No burn issues whatsoever. I didn't even have to touch this thing up. So it's been very good. The flavor profile on it, I can't get what y'all are getting out of it, but that's not anything out of the norm. But if I found this in my local tobacconist, which none of my local tobacconists carry it, I would pick up probably multiple. Because
you can get a
I
Perdomo, though.
I could definitely get a Perdomo, but it just doesn't have that kick that the Perdomo has. So, based on that, this one's going to get a 5 from me because I cannot find anything wrong with it. I've enjoyed it. It's one of those smokes that, I don't even... It's kind of weird. When you get a bad smoke, you'll sit there and think about it and be like, I wonder if this will get better. Or, you'll sit there and want to touch it up and be like, okay, maybe it's just tight, or I have none of that whatsoever. It's enjoyable. I lit it. I'm smoking it. I'm loving it. So, yeah, it's getting a 5 from me just because I know I would definitely smoke it again and again and again. And it may knock out, now that I've had it, it may knock out the Perdomo Champagne is what I would recommend for a starter smoker. I may replace the Perdomo Champagne with this one because it does that. You won't regret it when you smoke it, and you won't. It's a good starter. Well, I hate saying it's a starter cigar because it's better than a starter cigar. You'll smoke it regardless if you're a starter or not. You're beginner, aficionado, whatever. But yeah, I would definitely recommend it as a hey, try this first. So yeah, definitely. How about you, Billy?
Yeah, pretty much the same as everybody's been saying. It's been a really good cigar. Obviously, I liked it. I smoked the hell out of it. It was gone before I knew. I was like, wow. Yeah, the flavors, that you didn't get, but I don't know. I felt like there was something in the background, and those were kind of the two that I was like, yeah, that kind of reminds me of those two flavors. But as far as the score goes, I think the only thing pushing me from not giving it a full, just a flat 5 is just that I like a little bit stronger cigar. But that's not to say that this is not a fantastic cigar. It's just that's just not my preference. But having said that, I would still probably give this like a 4.85.
Wow.
To go as high as I could without maybe saying perfect.
Very nice. How about you, Grimm?
Let me give you my professional opinion.
ChatGPT, here we come.
With its rich flavor profile, excellent construction, and inviting nature, the RoMa Craft Intemperance is a fantastic choice for any cigar enthusiast. It is a testament to the brand's commitment to quality and creativity in the cigar industry. Highly recommended! ! Oh my God! Wait, there's an addendum here that says Grimm says, Michael and Skip, we love you. Send us a hat.
Did it also give you your score? I need to know
Oh
that.
shit! Hold on, let me look again. The joke's done. 4.75, and the only reason it's not a 5 is because I do like a little bit of a heavy-hitting cigar. I do enjoy this. I will recommend it to newcomers. I will keep it at the forefront when I'm talking about cigars. So it's a fantastic cigar. I'm not even trying to, I don't have an appropriate phrase for what I'm trying to do for the RoMa
I ain't
people.
even playing.
I ain't playing. So 4.75. Smoke the fucking thing.
Yeah, fair. That's completely fair. How about you, Zach?
Well, at the beginning, I did get the leather and cedar that Billy was talking about, but now I just get cappuccino or latte kind of coffee with cream kind of thing. And this is like one of my go-to cigars. I've bought, I don't know how many now, but I keep almost buying a box of them, and probably will buy a box of them. I'm gonna give it a 5 again because I've rated this on the show before, and I think I gave it a 5. But it's one of my favorite cigars. When we had Hector on, this was one of the cigars that would be on the desert island with me, and I just like it.
And I know we're gonna get fired for this, but this was a penny cigar. This was actually provided. Yeah, this was provided to us by Penny at Penny's Public House for us to smoke, and of course she gives us primo shit all the time. But this one definitely hit it for me, and it always hits it for Zach, evidently. So
Yeah.
Thank you, Penny, for letting us enjoy this smoke. It's a really good smoke, and Penny's Public House online. You can pick up RoMa. You can pick up all kinds of rare stuff right now. It is crazy the boxes that she has on that site, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when you get in there. There's the stuff
Yeah, it's
that
pretty
you've
crazy.
never seen before, or stuff that's not on the market anymore. She's held on to it, and she's selling it, and it's amazing stuff. So check it out, and let them know that the Leaf Cutter sent you. Right now, there's not any promo for us going on, but she does throw out promos for us every now and then. And in the future, we have talked about doing a Leaf Cutter box that you can get. You can actually order the box, and they'll send you some of the favorite cigars that we've had on our show. But please check her out. It's a great site. She's a great person, and she supports us. to continue doing what we're doing. So, yeah.
Sure. Thanks, Penny.
Yeah. Thank you, Penny.
Thanks,
All right.
Penny.
And on that note, I'm going to say good night.
Later, guys.
Good night.